Look how close this lens can get. What if I filmed my entire review from this distance? That would be crazy. I'm not gonna do that. But hey, my name is Matt Johnson, and in this video, I'm gonna be reviewing the Sony 100mm f2.8 GM macro lens and tell you if it's a good choice if you want to film super close-up, ultra-tight, detailed shots like rings at a wedding. Spoiler, it's very good at that. And I feel like that makes for a pretty quick and easy review overall because this is a rather niche lens. It's not nearly as versatile as something like a 24-70 zoom, but that's not why you buy a lens like this. Anyways, for the sake of ethics, this video is not sponsored by Sony, but they did loan me this lens so I can make this review, and I will sadly be sending it back to them before I ever even upload this video to YouTube. But that said, this video does have a sponsor, and it's my friends at Storyblocks. More on them later in the video. In this quick review, we're going to be talking about who this lens is for, whether it's any good, and if you should buy it. Let's start with who the heck this lens is for, and that's an easy question to answer. If you are someone that commonly finds yourself filming ultra close-up tight shots of tiny things, insects, spiders, Warhammer 40,000 figurines. Maybe you film weddings and you love getting a super detailed shot of the couple's rings, which, side note by the way, I don't do that anymore ever since the photographer at the wedding I was filming lost multiple diamonds from one of the rings and then tried to blame me for it. I don't film rings anymore, but you get what I'm saying. If you need ultra detailed tight shots of things, this 100mm macro is built for it. It basically replaces the previous Sony 90mm, and while I've not used that lens, I do know that it was one of the first GM lenses that Sony made, and it was definitely kind of due for an update, and this lens is definitely an update. So that leads us into part 2 of this review. Is this lens any good? And the answer, considering that we're talking about if it's good at filming very tiny things, but I will also add in the use case scenario of you possibly needing a head and shoulder shot of someone during an interview, which hey, 100mm is a good focal length for that too. In those two use cases, this lens is excellent optically, but it does have some focus breathing. I feel like every time Sony comes out with a new lens, I'm consistently impressed by how sharp it is, with lenses like the 200mm f2 and 50-150 f2 continuing to impress me, but here we are with the 100mm f2.8 GM, and it feels even sharper, which doesn't feel possible. It's getting ridiculous at this point. And going back to those use cases, if you want really sharp footage of all those small things that you're filming, this lens is going to be pretty much sharper than anything else that you've tried. That said though, there is some focus breathing, which isn't a total surprise considering this is a macro lens that can also be used for portraits, so it has to have a massive focus range. Thankfully, there is focus breathing compensation on Sony's cameras, which will help eliminate that a lot. Also, I need to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Storyblocks. No matter whether you're editing a wedding film or a YouTube video, every project needs a lot of ingredients to make it work. You may have your footage of a talking head that you filmed, but what is a good video without a music soundtrack or B-roll footage or sound effects? That is where Storyblocks comes in, because with one easy subscription, you get unlimited access to an entire library of extremely high quality and diverse assets that you can use to elevate the quality of your videos. These are unique assets created by real artists. Nothing is AI generated, it's all authentic and designed to save you hours of work. I'm personally a big fan of Storyblocks Creative Cloud plugin because it adds their entire library directly into Premiere Pro. So you don't even have to leave the app to download the footage, sounds, or templates that you need for your project. Just one click and it's downloaded and ready to use in an edit. This is going to save you so much time editing. If you are looking for an all-in-one subscription that will elevate your videos and give you all of the assets that you need, you got to check out Storyblocks. To get started with unlimited stock media downloads at one set price, head on over to storyblocks.com/whoismatt or click the link in the description right now. Then throw in all of the usual Sony GM goodies like 2 programmable buttons on the top and side, an autofocus manual focus switch, which, side note, autofocus speed and accuracy are excellent in all of my testing with this lens. It has an aperture ring that can be made clickless if you want it to be, and it's already sounding pretty good, right? But then you have other very useful features like full-time DMF, which lets you use manual focus while autofocus is enabled, an autofocus control switch that will let you switch between the camera only autofocusing on things that are extremely close to the lens, or it being able to focus on things that are further away too. Oh, and it has this really cool feature they call the focus clutch, which lets you swap between autofocus and manual focus by sliding the focus ring forward or backwards if you want to switch it between those two modes. It's very cool, very satisfying, and actually useful. Speaking of useful, did you know that this lens also has optical image stabilization? This feels like a feature that Sony is not putting into a lot of their lenses these days because the in-body image stabilization is so good with many of their lenses. But considering that this lens is made to film things that are extremely close to it, and you need your rig to be as steady as possible in those scenarios, it is so great to see optical image stabilization built into this lens. The hits keep coming too because Sony's engineers worked overtime to enable this lens to also work with their 1.4x and 2x teleconverters. So you can attach one of these to the lens and easily give it a 2x or 2.8x magnification. AKA, if you want to get even closer to the tiny things that you're trying to film, this lens with the teleconverters allows you to do that, and it becomes even more specialized. It's crazy. So, should you buy it? That means we're at the third part of this review, by the way, and the answer is going to come down to whether you think you need it. This lens costs $1,500, but like I said earlier, this is a niche lens. You're probably thinking about buying it if you have shots in mind that you can get with it, most likely of very tiny things that you want to film close up. And with that in mind, if you want the absolute highest quality imagery for your macro videos, packaged in a lens that feels very purpose-built for macro photo and video, I think you're absolutely going to love this lens. Will I be buying one? No, because I don't want to lose the diamonds off a ring at a wedding, but I can really appreciate a macro lens like this. Speaking of things that you will appreciate, I'm betting that you're also going to appreciate my gear guide for wedding filmmakers. It's going to show you all the equipment that I recommend for wedding filmmaking. It's completely free. You can download the link in the video description. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you loved it. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.